It's been over 15 years since we lost actor, author, and comedian George Carlin. He was busy in his lifetime and bowed out with over 10 HBO specials, several albums, many films, and TV shows. Many of his quotes hit hard back then and are still memorable today. Here is a compilation of 15 with our perspectives on them. Never give up. Failing at something isn't the end, but an opportunity to re-strategize. It's bye to the era of joining them when you can't beat them. Stand your ground, try again, and keep Carlin's quote, "If you can't beat them, arrange to have them beaten," in mind. Thankful for life. Gratefulness for being alive is expressed in the quote, "I'm always relieved when someone is delivering eulogy, and I realize I'm listening to it. When you're not listening, you're the one in the coffin. So stay thankful, enjoy life, and make the most of it while it lasts." Irony of war. The author tells us that war is rich old men protecting their property by sending middle-class and lower-class men off to die. This statement not only calls into question the political class amassing wealth, but it also calls attention to those who have to work for them, who are the poorer in society. Being yourself. In only 4 words, Carlin is able to encourage us to keep changing and find ways to improve the current state of things. He says, "The status quo sucks, and oh yes, it does. Just imagine what the world would be like today if everyone kept to the status quo." The future of leadership. Redirecting our minds to the fact that those below rise to become leaders, George states that we mostly remain what we are when bigger positions come our way. His words, "If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to have selfish, ignorant leaders," means you shouldn't wait for bigger positions before changing. Our superiority complex. How come when it's us, it's an abortion, and when it's a chicken, it's an omelet? In its longer form, this quote points out human hypocrisy and mocks our superiority complex over animals. Humans should look at themselves again and see how they're ruining the world in ways the inferior chickens aren't. Anti-abortion. The quote, "Conservatives want live babies so they can train them to be dead soldiers," defends abortion on the one hand. On the other hand, it provides grounds for critiquing the government's use of soldiers. Women should have rights to their bodies, and humans are too precious to be misused. Complicating things. To Carlin, it seems we make things more complicated than they should be. He shares this weather forecast for tonight. Dark. It tells us that some things are clear to see, and that we don't always need a certified expert to tell us which way to go. Ignoring things. "Don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things" can be divided into 2 parts, but the first part may have more meaning. The first side advises us to allow little things to slide for our happiness because we can't control everything, and the second part gives us something to laugh at. Safety from evil. Carlin has a prayer or a wish for you. May the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house. Amen to that. Life is already too tricky to put up with any more evil. We can enjoy life more when evil can't get to us, as its confusion leads it away. Atheism. Obviously, the author knows how to wordplay. Atheism is a non-profit organization, he says. 1. It distances atheism from the profit culture of religions, Christianity, and Judaism. 2. It presents atheism as a non-profit movement by using the similarity in the sounds of the words profit and profit, about influence. One of his funny quotes concerns influence. He agrees that everyone may have equal authority, but it takes the acceptance of others before it becomes visible to more people. Using the Catholic Church as an example, he says, "I have as much authority as the Pope. I just don't have as many people who believe it." Impossible experiences. The comedian seems to insist that some experiences can never be had when he says, "One can never know for sure what a deserted area looks like. Even if one goes to an actual deserted area, we can't say it's vacant because that person is present at that moment and they presently occupy that space." Overdrinking. If you have a bad experience after drinking more than you should, you can't say George didn't warn you ahead of time. A takeaway from the quote, 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor, is that the likelihood of you passing out and doing some things you will regret increases the more you drink. Inspiration. Those who dance are considered insane by those who cannot hear the music has got to be one of the most motivational phrases ever. When you're going at something and others think you're crazy, it may be because they don't know the drive behind it. Enjoy your music and dance on.